Welcome to Comics League Dark. I am Jared, and today we are discussing a wide variety of news topics. Among them, we will be discussing essentially the DCU mural that appeared with in the Superman movie. We will be talking about Absolute Green Arrow being announced. We will be talking about the fact that we're getting a Captain America Xenomorph crossover. That's new. And we finally know who's going to be writing the Wonder Woman movie. So what topics would you guys like to start with? Or if there's anything that you guys would like me to briefly go over, you can go ahead and drop them in the chat right now and I'll get to them. But yeah, how you guys doing? I just saw Fantastic Four. It was awesome. Like, Marvel may be back in form, ladies and gents. Marvel may be back. I hesitate to say that. Like, they freaking finally nailed it. But anyway, so what do you guys want to talk about first? Let's see. Mural. All right. So the mural. So here's what I wanted to talk about is that they revealed a few of the characters. Isn't Vandal Star was the first metahuman? I have no idea. And what's up, NJ? But according to this, all right, so I'm going to pull up a tweet that basically explains the mural. So for those of you that are wondering what I mean by this, so in one of the scenes for Superman, there was like a mural of like, that's basically showing the history of the DCU, but with like all the characters that were like established at this point. So I figure it would be beneficial to like check out the mural, see if we recognize any particular characters, and see like, okay, so this can be kind of fun here. So we're going to be doing that. So let's do that. I'm just trying to rearrange my clips because they got out of order for some reason. And oh boy, I get to use another use of this. All right, and so you got your ass kicked by a Tesla robot, huh?
Hey, it didn't end. You didn't see the end of the fight, so you don't know.
Okay. Speaking of fight scenes, Fantastic Four, dude. Fantastic Four. I'm not spoiling it. Don't worry. I'm not spoiling it. All I'm saying is like they finally nailed it.
Nice.
But anyway, so we're talking about that Superman mural because that
I saw.
That's a very interesting thing to check out. So let's do this. So I have a tweet that's gonna. So this is basically what they're trying to do is they're showing like
the history.
Yeah, essentially the history of the DC universe going back. Because remember, superheroes essentially have only existed for 300. It's only going to go back 300 years.
Yeah, so the 1700.
Yeah, so what we got here first, I believe that's Amethyst.
Yes, I believe that is. I can barely make it out.
Yeah, hang on. Here we go. Let's do this. All right, how's that?
Let me look back. Yep, that could be Amethyst or one of her ancestors.
Who's that knight guy?
That I am not sure. Shining Knight?
Maybe. So, all right. So we have an Amazon, and so there was this story called Amazon Odyssey or something like that. It was a prequel. It shows that like there were some Amazons that weren't on the island. That's who this is.
That's what I thought.
Oh, and NJ says that's Sister Symmetry, a Lord of Order.
Ah.
Oh, that's cool. Then we have. All right, is this the character from the Justice Riders?
Wait, which one?
The dude with the horns.
No. That's Mighty Chief or something. He was
You've seen, okay, if you read 52,
Yes.
remember you have the one guy, the one big guy who smothers his grandfather with the pillow, took his amulet, and became super chief. I mean, a super chief.
Okay.
A super chief. You can tell by the amulet. And then he got killed off by Skeets during Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's supposed to be super chief.
Okay, I see. But so then we have a lot of these characters. I have no idea who the hell these characters are.
Oh, okay. The Flash guy, that is one of Maxwell Mercury's earlier identities.
Okay.
Yep.
And then
some people also think that, by the way, some people think that might be Madame Xanadu at the beginning because of the cards.
That could be Xanadu as well, and she does wear purple.
And
Who's
the other
the
one is
person on the horse?
Oh, that would be well, first of all, that's Black Pirate to the left, and no idea who that is on the horse. That could be an early version of Ms. America.
Could be. Oh, America Chavez? I'm only kidding.
No,
Right.
No idea.
Now I'm gonna say this. Hats off to, because the easy way to do this would be to just have the JSA people just show up in this. And I'm like, hats off that you didn't do that.
Yep. I'm trying to look at what anyone else who comes up with it. Yeah. Okay. By the way, people think that could be Ms. Liberty earlier.
Okay.
The one on horseback.
Because Liberty Bell shows up later in this.
Well,
I know that.
Completely different.
Okay. Because I was.
Like I said, also that second guy in the mural, that's like I said, that's Silent Night. That's an early version of Hawkman.
Okay, and I take it Crimson Avenger.
Black Bison.
Black Bison. Okay, who's this guy?
That I'm still looking in. Oh wait, I take it back. Black Bison is the Oh, never mind. No, actually, I take it back. That's supposed to be El Diablo on horseback. That guy on horseback. That's what we El Diablo.
Obviously, Sandman,
Amazing Man, Zatara.
Again, Zatara, nice job. And then we have Liberty Bell. There you go. I got it.
The Human Bullets, both of them. Max Mercury. So that's Max in his later in his actual life. Then there's Come on,
Robert. You're the guy that knows all this stuff.
I know a lot of it. Doesn't mean I know all of it. Wait, go back a bit.
Okay.
To earlier. I think I know. I just double check now. Go back to where we had El Diablo. Okay, that's Iron Monroe, the guy with the shirt that's shirtless. That's Iron Monroe. That's Iron Monroe.
That makes sense.
That's the Ghost of Flanders. That's an obscure character.
Okay. Well, all these characters are obscure.
Oh, yeah. Oh, TNT and Dan the Dynamite.
These two?
Yes.
Okay. Who's she?
Phantom Lady.
Okay.
Freedom Beast.
This?
Not Freedom. Atomic Knight. Then Freedom Beast.
Okay, and then
Freedom Beast. Blaha Beast, Freedom Beast, either name. Wildcat. Wildcat.
Wildcat.
Vibe. Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
Next is Gunfire.
Okay, and Maxwell Lord.
Yep.
Okay, so now I will say it's a pretty cool idea to show like the because it basically is, because it goes from like the Middle Ages when it's like roughly these characters would show up all the way to like the modern age here.
That's why I always think that's Xanadu, because that's Middle Ages.
Yeah, it probably is. Is Xanadu immortal?
Yes.
Oh, okay, she is. Okay, I was wondering about that.
In fact, in some versions, she's the Lady of the Lake.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Isn't Vixen African tradition older than it? If it is, we've never seen her. It's not like Black Panther. That's Kavari's question down below. If it is, unlike Black Panther, we've never saw any others.
Yeah, exactly. And Mari's a lot like Dinah in that way, and that she gets confused with like a earlier iteration or something like that.
And also earlier, yes, is Vandal Savage the first metahuman? Yes.
Not in this, no.
Well, no, I mean, well, technically he's
Well,
caveman.
actually, he could be, because all Gunn said is that metahumans have been known for 300 years.
Yep, and besides, Vandal Savage, you're not going to ignore him. He goes back to caveman days no matter what.
Yeah. So, okay.
But you know, technically, that makes him older than Apocalypse between Marvel and DC, because Apocalypse is from Egyptian time.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That makes sense.
Savage is from prehistoric times.
Mm-hmm. That works.
Oh, that's who Sister Symmetry at the beginning was. Some other people saying that might be Xanadu. Oh, no, that is an alternate name for Xanadu.
Okay, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So is this basically how chapter 1 could end? No, it's just showing like the history before Superman.
Yep.
So that's kind of where that goes in there.
Oh, okay, hon. Yep. The comics this is Nimue as a powerful sorceress. A founding member of Justice League Guard, going by the names such as Sister Symmetry and Mad of Xanadu.
Okay.
So it is Xanadu. It's just also known as Sister Symmetry in her earlier days.
That makes sense. I like that.
So NJ, I'm right, but we're both right.
We're both right. You're both all good. Both all good.
The fact he included some really obscure ones.
That's the thing, because traditionally, whenever I see people show like, the history of the DC universe, they stop at the JSA. They don't continue on. This is the first time I've ever seen them really going on.
Yep. Now the fact they also include. No, not really.
No, the armor design on the breastplate matches a particular Amazon from the comics. Exorcist.
Mm-hmm. That's the exiled Amazon.
Exactly. It matches that person's.
From Demon Knight. That's Demon Knight.
Oh, really?
That's from Demon Knights. Remember you saw an Amazon in Demon Knights?
Okay.
That's who cool. That is. That's exactly.
That makes sense.
So yeah, that makes even more sense since you have Silent Knight and Xanadu. Of course, then you're going to have Exorcist.
That makes sense. I like that.
But I would say was the fact that you also have Max Mercury's earlier Whip Whirlwind. So that tells you they're going to keep Max being a time trap, a person who kept on jumping ahead.
Okay, so that's why Max Mercury is from that time period, but like shows up in our time.
Yeah, because originally he was from the Wild West as Whip Whirlwind. He ended up running so fast through the Speed Force, he jumped ahead, stayed there because he didn't know how to get back, and that's when he became Max Mercury, and then he jumped ahead further to the present.
Okay, I see. That makes sense. That's
kind of cool. They're keeping that. I'm surprised. Indirectly, that means you have to keep the Speed. They do it. The Speed Force does exist.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Of course, Speed Force exists, but yeah. I wanted to highlight that because it's like it shows again that like a kind of a strength about this is the idea that like we're starting in a universe already established. So it's like all this stuff exists. Yeah. What's up, Robert?
I was going to agree with Cameron. Like, yep.
Yeah, I'm all for Max being interested in the mainstream. He's the most. Yeah, he is. He definitely is. The first time I really saw him was in Flash Rebirth, and by Flash Rebirth, I mean the Jeff Johns Flash Rebirth. Can't believe
yep. By the way, for Exorcist, hold on, just to show. This is from the very first issue of it.
Go ahead.
Of Demon Knights.
Mm-hmm.
This woman.
Yeah. Yep.
Which, what they say, I'm from an island where... Hey, I just realized, this makes her the only other Amazon besides Diana and her mother where we got a personality from.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because this was New 52, right?
Exactly.
Okay, there you go.
So, yeah, she's the only other Amazon who we ever given some sort of personality to, besides... and Donna to a degree, but you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or Heshia.
Oh, that's true. That's true. But you get what I mean there, so.
Yeah, and by NJ says DCU Cersei is an exiled Amazon from Themyscira. This one is also an exiled Amazon from Themyscira. Her politics is yeah, exactly. It's like you love men too much. You're be gone with you.
Yep. Let me double check to why she was booted. Eventually struck out in the world seeking to return. She was very close to Farah, who took her friend. Actually, they simply say she was renowned before her exile. She was very close to Farah, who took her friend's exile poorly. Eventually, Farah struck out to the world, seeking to return Exorcistus to the island in order to prove her worth to Queen Apolloda, but instead found herself infected by Cain.
Okay, that.
So they never say why she was exiled, just that she was. So they never gave a reason.
That makes sense. That's interesting.
Yep. She would eventually regain her honor.
Mm-hmm.
So in other words, she was one of those that got turned to snakes then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. But so that's what I wanted to talk about because
Wait,
yeah, go ahead.
Diana's sword is her sword.
Oh, that's cool.
That's her sword.
That's cool. I didn't know all this stuff. I got to read Demon Knights then.
Oh, dude, I love Demon Knights.
God damn it, Robert. Now you're giving me
okay.
homework.
Now, the sword, that connection was revealed in Wonder Woman 750.
Okay, yeah. So actually, I should have that then.
That's where it was. That's where it was revealed. But yes. Yes. According to this, it says eventually would regain her honor in the eyes of the Amazons, participating in the American Revolution. In time, her sword would return to Themyscira's armory, and in turn find its way to the hands of the Amazonian princess Diana.
Okay, that makes sense. sense.
Okay, maybe that might not be hers. Maybe I'm misreading that. Maybe that might mean that Diana uses her sword rather than being that sword that she's always used with hers.
Yeah. So that's actually
either way. But yeah.
So let's transition to the comic book news. By the way, real quick, as I was getting out of Fantastic Four. By the way, Galactus is perfect in this. Perfect.
I knew he would be.
No changes. Perfect. But anyway, we got news that they are adjusting the ending to Predator Killer of Killers to include Arnold and Donald Glover's characters.
Oh, so they've been abducted.
They are redoing it in JJheat. Hey, what's up, buddy?
Flame on. How's everybody doing tonight?
Good.
Not too bad.
It's a good time to be saying flame on, right?
Yep.
Looks like I missed the mural portion.
Yeah. But don't spoil it. But okay. But so yeah, they adjusted the post credits and they're putting it on Hulu, so it's gonna be there with all those other guys. So I want to bring that up. But so I know I put absolute news. Assume it's all comic news because there's like a lot to get over. First off, Captain America versus aliens.
Yep.
Like, where the German soldiers, I have to call them that because I don't know if YouTube would allow me to say this.
I did Ratsies. Ratsies.
Because the Ratsies unleashed xenomorphs accidentally. Yeah, that tracks. That tracks.
Yep. But go with Ratsies because that was actually one of the nicknames.
Yeah, sure. We did, but
if you want
in general, just to summarize it, go ahead.
Yeah.
Basically, James, I think James Gunn posted it within the last hour or so.
Yeah, he did.
A couple of hours, but he finally revealed the full thing. I want to say the only speedster is Max Mercury, to where Max Mercury, he has specific abilities with his super speed. Like he debuted in the late, at least from what I could tell, the order, he debuted in the late 19th century and then rebranded as Max Mercury by roughly around World War II. Mm-hmm. At least that's my personal theory on that. Don't quote me. But there's no JSA.
No, there's some members.
Some members, but considering that this is in like the Hall of Justice or the Justice Gang, these heroes listed in the mural are likely either solo acts, one of the earliest heroes who who teamed up reluctantly and missed a big event, leading up to the present day where you get these archetypal or these sellouts of heroes.
Yeah,
The JSA wouldn't really sell out. The JSA, not to mention the JSA only lasted a few years before being pressured to disband by the United States Senate.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you could go off of that. But okay, so on to this. So what we know is that we got the next Absolute book got announced. It's a 6-issue mini Absolute Green Arrow, which that's of all the characters that they could have announced. I guess Green Arrow makes sense. That kind of works. And it looks like it's gonna be largely like consistent with the main thing, except he's in the Absolute world. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. But so we also got like, so there's, because obviously with Comic-Con going, it's like tons of comic stuff. But Robert, if there's anything that you really wanted to talk about, like Alien, Cap, or whatever, just go ahead.
I'm trying to think. Actually, I'm trying to think because yeah, I actually haven't getting caught up with a lot of the San Diego stuff. Oh wait. Al Ewing writing Green Lantern Rocket. Oh
yeah, I'm like, well, that makes sense because he's doing Absolute Green Lantern, so I guess they want to like, but still, Rocket Raccoon and Green Lantern getting a crossover. Honestly, that's another crossover I could actually see.
Agreed.
That actually works really well. And yeah. Go ahead, JJheat.
I mean, yeah, because they're both space themed, but because of how chaotic Rocket Raccoon is, I probably would have gone with like Booster Gold, or because, especially if you're going off, I just feel like that would, because especially with the Star-Lord comparison, that just would have been a better matchup.
No, I think Green Lantern is way up. Comparing the Star-Lord comparison would make more sense. And by the way, should we play out the random? We've already brought that up.
Oh, random. That's what everyone believes, that's who the Amazon is, which is good because I'm like, at least you're like really going obscure. Because I said this earlier, JJheat. It's like, hats off to Gunn, because he could have lazily just said, okay, so here are all the JSA members that laid the foundation for them being superheroes. But no,
he goes back to Demon Knights.
Yeah, by the way, so Cameron says Green Lantern and Guardians would make a badass crossover. You can even get into the direction of the Nova Corps versus the Green Lanterns. And saying it now, my money's on Lanterns. Yeah, because Lanterns can like, all right, so you know what I read today? So I was watching a bunch of Gundam, and I decided, okay, screw it. I'm going to read DC Mech. It's basically DC Gundam.
Oh, DC Mech is awesome.
It's so good. Like, it's an Elseworlds, but they take it in like such a cool direction.
It's right up there with just Jurassic League.
Yeah, Wonder Woman and Cap, just as it makes sense. Wonder Woman, Captain Marvel, She-Hulk, or Storm be better. Yeah, I agree with you on that, but it's like, let me see what, because you know why? Chip Zdarsky was like on there, and apparently I think he had his choice because he picked Captain America, and he like had his choice of a list of DC characters, and he chose Wonder Woman. Let me put it this way, NJ. At least he has established that he's not going to have Wonder Woman like being romanced by Steve Rogers.
And again, World War and Wonder Woman had a history with World War II.
Yeah, exactly. And at the very least, well, and again, it's not being written by Tom King, so we know it won't be cringe. Wonder Woman only makes sense if we go the World War II route. This
isn't canon, so it's perfectly fine.
A lot of these crossovers are going to either be Elseworld or standalone, so you could go nuts.
Exactly.
Now, my question is, are all of these crossovers in one continuity, or are they each like a separate thing?
We don't know. Yeah, because given the Godzilla Marvel crossovers were each separate continuities, I don't know.
Yeah, that is true.
You could go the anthology route, but you would have to keep up with every single one, and it's just a mess.
Right.
Yeah, that is true. So I'd imagine that. But plus, then you'd have to to make sure the characters picked would line up. So I'll give you that. That makes sense.
By the way, because it's been taking so long, because it's taking so long, do you hear that he pretty much revealed how One World Under Doom is going to end?
Yeah, that event is a dud. I knew it was going to be dead on arrival, but dear God, that event dragged.
It's so stupid. How does it end, Robert? Spoiler alert for anyone who cares.
Apparently, basically, it's going to be revealed he is losing being Sorcerer Supreme, and his last action will have an impact.
Oh,
probably, yeah, but impact probably for a year or at best a few months at worst.
This is Marvel Comics. It'll be a few months.
Oh, also, did you also know that JMS is doing a 1776 series?
Yeah, with so is that all the Marvel heroes honoring America or something like that? I saw a bunch of the anti-American crowd on Twitter agreeing about that.
Wait, anti-American? Are we talking about other countries or just
that, or Americans that don't like America?
I still never understood those people. It's like, if you don't like it, why live here?
Well, the other thing is, I know these are global superheroes, but you know where these characters were made, right?
Yeah.
Majority of them are in America.
Yeah, and no, I mean, even every single major superhero that you read from Marvel and DC was made in the US of A in terms of an ideation phase. Obviously, they didn't originate in America in terms of the actual characters themselves.
Right.
What's up, Sean Franklin? And then
they don't give much about it.
But I agree. I wouldn't give them a full year before. Yeah, that's the thing. It's as much as I make the joke that whenever DC has consequences, they'll contradict it in a year or two. Marvel is way worse.
No. With DC, let's I know this is an extreme example, but with DC, let's take 5G for example. This whole thing that we're going to do their version of all new, all different, new generation in continuity. First of all, if this was an Elseworld, no one would have been nowhere near as mad about it. But yeah, it even had to a point to where John was to where you had a deep cut from the 70s. Not even Luke Fox. I'm sorry, I'm going on a tirade, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. Good. Go ahead.
Not even Luke Fox. His estranged brother. Well, allegedly. Okay, his estranged brother, who only had 3 panels to his name in a run post-crisis in the 70s, because Ridley wanted a blank slate, and all he did was rip off Terry McGinnis.
Yeah, because here's the thing: I maintain that if they had gone with actual Luke Fox being essentially Black Batman, like they wanted to, you wouldn't have no
one would have cared.
No, it would have been okay, that makes sense because it's someone associated with Bruce.
Exactly.
It's just asinine. But then again, Ridley is the guy that had Superman get S8 in prison. Let's all remember that.
Not to mention the 5G perfect files. We're gonna to where it was even gonna culminate in a. First of all, Kingdom Come is a masterpiece. The very fact that we would even remotely try to make a Civil War II version out of the Kingdom Come is freaking sacrilege. Let's just go ahead and call it right.
Yeah. To be fair, they also considered this Kingdom Come. They could have been taking some elements from the never-made Twilight of the superheroes.
For all intents, concept-wise, they were trying to rip off Civil War II. The closest example for DC is Kingdom Come.
Apparently, it also got announced that another crossover series is going to be Dark Knight Returns Batman versus Old Man Logan. It may be a cover by
It's just a cover. That's just a cover.
Oh, okay, damn it.
But if that becomes a mainline comic, that is a good matchup, not going to lie.
That is a great idea.
Yep. Wait. What is Sean asking? Can he dead? What?
Galactus. I think he's talking about the Fantastic Four movie.
Don't spoil the movie. No one talk about the Fantastic Four movie.
Please, I have not seen it. I'm seeing it tomorrow.
What we're gonna do for Comics League, I decided, is Under Two Capes. Next week, we'll talk about all of the Fantastic Four movies.
By the way, we're getting more with Imperial.
Oh yeah, where we also have Planet She-Hulk, which I'm okay, that's cool.
Stephanie Phillips, I have faith in her.
Yeah, okay. That kind of works.
we have a new Nova series. About time. Black Panther
they're really going all in on the cosmic stuff with Marvel. That's the interesting.
I'm still curious about Hickman doing this because he almost could have redefined DC's cosmic.
I know, that would have been so great because if there's one thing Hickman is good at, it's like it's reinvention. Barry, did you also see that apparently crazy Gunn fans, I made that distinction, are review bombing Fantastic Four?
What?
Yeah, and I go, why?
Okay. Now, I'm not going to go into spoilers, but I will say this. In terms of structure, Fantastic Four is better structurally compared to Superman, but not by much. By the time you get to the third act, it falls apart. That is all I'm going to say.
All right.
From a structure standpoint, that is all I'm going to say. Superman had Superman has a similar problem, but that's because it's juggling too many characters.
Yeah, I'll give you that. But anyway,
so yeah. But as of the summer 2025 blockbuster, Jurassic World Rebirth is going to win that because let's be honest, when all else fails, dinosaurs sell.
And that's probably the one that no matter what's going on in the States, people are still going to watch it internationally compared to Thor and Superman.
Because here's the thing. Dinosaurs aren't a strictly American thing.
Exactly. Whereas even the F4 are still more American than dinosaurs.
And by the way, NJ brought up an interesting point. The Imperial She-Hulk is just absolute Wonder Woman because she has the giant sword and the tiara.
Except one. A Hulk had a sword. A Scar had a sword. And the tiara represents being the queen, just like how Hulk was the Green Scar and Green King.
I'm sorry. It's like she has the Cloud Sword, dude.
So did Scar.
Okay, let me see this.
Okay, does Scar even get used anymore? Like,
yes, he has. Yes, he has. He was used at least around Immortal Hulk during the spin-off of it.
Yeah, because since Immortal Hulk, I'm convinced.
What?
Scar has been shelved.
That's not the Cloud Sword.
I remember he had a big sword.
No, a big sword is different than just saying Cloud Sword.
Okay. Wait a minute.
That She-Hulk sword is legit, like, copy-pasted from Absolute Wonder Woman.
Dude, you're reading too much into it.
I'm not saying it was intentionally copy-pasted. I'm just saying it looks extremely like it.
All right, but I was going to say was also they've announced John Byrne's X-Men Elsewhere is also getting released.
Oh, interesting. But by the way, yeah, so it's not exactly the same, but it's like very similar.
That's about the same size as Scar's sword.
Yeah, but
remember
that combined with the tiara makes it a little bit like, okay, I see what you're homaging at least. You're homaging.
Okay, but I'm just saying though, I think the other thing I remember is given how Scar is actually Hulk size compared to Jen, it looks bigger on Jen compared to Scar.
Yeah, exactly. But in terms of John Byrne, oh boy, he missed the orgy island. I had to.
But I'm just saying. And apparently Marvel 2099 is ending.
Like they're not going to do 2099 stuff anymore.
Well, at least not Orlando anymore. He's going to be jumping on to something else.
Okay, I see. That makes sense. Eventually, you got to move on from that.
But the Elsewhere has been something that Byrne has been working on for a long time. Basically, his own continuation of the X-Men run. So basically, how you remember how you had Chris Claremont do X-Men Forever?
Mm-hmm.
This is Byrne's take on it, but it goes all the way back to when he left the book.
Wait, so it's just what if?
Yeah, it's just a what if. How Byrne would have continued on X-Men from all the way back when he left.
That's actually a pretty cool idea. I like that.
Hold on, let me double check. What story did he leave X-Men on? He left at X-Men 143 because of creative conflicts with Claremont, of course. So 143 was, which issue was that? That was, it was a random issue it was when that alien attacked while Kitty was alone.
Oh, I remember that one. That really, really creepy alien thing. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I think that was right after Days of Future Past, I believe. Yep, it was. It was immediately after Days of Future Past. That was Byrne's last issue. So basically, his Elsewind is what he would have done after he left. So everything after Days of Future Past.
That makes sense. I like that. That's kind of cool.
Unfortunately, because he started getting a bit ill in health, he couldn't finish it. So even that ended on a bit of a cliffhanger.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so there's like a lot now in terms of like Absolute Green Arrow. That's going to tie directly into the villains teaming up. So what I think is happening, they're starting the everyone is meeting each other. Like Scott this week also revealed that Batman and Wonder Woman are going to meet in this universe, and then they'll probably assemble the others. I think the first absolute like Justice League threat is just going to be essentially the Absolute Legion of Doom.
Right.
Essentially that, which I'm like, yeah, that kind of works because you can just pluck all the villains from the previous books that you've been clearly setting up. So you can just go with that. That works. I like that. That's a cool idea. That's a cool idea. But yeah, so let's see. Any other comic book news that you guys want to talk about?
Well, you mentioned up with the Absolute. Like I said, I am still curious with what they're going to be doing with all this Absolute Evil. Because again, this is where I'm going about with DCKO. You don't start off a major plot thing in the Absolute universe while this event is going on.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I'm convinced DCKO was just, again, this is why I'm convinced this was done in reaction to how big Absolute was. They probably realized we need something to tide people over.
Yeah, until we have an event that's like all prepared, like what
the original plan is.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, and you know what? That works because you were able to come up with something. At least you want to put a lot more thought into it. Praying, Veronica will be the leader of the Legion as Lexus Universe. That's, you know what? And she brings up a good point. We haven't seen an Absolute Lex yet.
Exactly. So for all we know, but I don't think we're gonna have Kale do it. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I need to see more of her in the Absolute Wonder Woman books to come to that conclusion. I will say.
And the Cameron. Here's the thing. It depends on one type of event. You have the inner book, like a Batman family crossover, which is only among certain titles, or you have the main crossover events. And then you have it within the one title events.
Basically, it's structured like this: self-contained, ensemble, major line, or line wide.
Exactly. Like for example, the Bad Moon stuff in Flash. It's just self-contained. Then you have what's going on with the Green Lantern and Green Lantern Corps book. That is a what was the second one?
That's ensemble because that's
ensemble. Then you have any of the Bat Family crossovers like Joker War and all that stuff. That's a
major line.
Major line. Then you've got we don't even know about DCKO if that's going to be have any tie-ins or not.
For example, like any of the crises, anything involving the Justice League, that's going to be line wide.
Yep. But then you also have the standalone, just I call it the fill-in events, which would be like Convergence and everything. Something that's done while they're just like taking 2 months off.
Now let me add this. Okay. I am against, because there was a period where Marvel, I'm putting the blame at Marvel because DC didn't do this that much, where they had major event after major event. That's where event fatigue comes in.
DC kind of was guilty of that too.
DC kind of does it, but they don't do it as often as Marvel does.
Oh, yeah, agreed.
Oh, back in the 90s, early 2000s, they were popping events left and right.
But that was purely because they needed it for the sales, because the guy who owned Marvel at the time kept saying, okay, these numbers you have this year, double it next year, or else.
Yeah,
I'm not kidding.
No, I know you're not kidding. But needless to say, DC has just become more lax, ironically enough, because they didn't have the pressure of getting a cinematic universe off the ground. They didn't need too much synergy. DC now is just purely on the comic side of things. DC is just in a better position than Marvel is because Marvel has been steadily declining. I'd argue as far back as Marvel now, not even All New, All Different.
Mm-hmm.
All New, All Different is where a lot of the controversy happened, but Marvel has just been at a steady decline. And then with Event, outside of a few outliers here and there, like Strange Academy, Nick Spencer, Spider-Man run, stuff like that, they've just never recovered.
Yeah,
Yep.
I would say that because you also had like books where like events like King in Black where literally every Marvel book tied in, and I'm like, why do I need a Squirrel Girl tie-in to King in Black? And it doesn't.
Okay.
Here's the thing. It's just done for the marketing because guess what? The actual like content of the book had nothing to do with King in Black.
By the way, here's something else they announced in the Marvel solicitations. Fantastic Four Gargoyles.
Oh, that's interesting.
They teased that. They teased out during the free comic book day. The Mona one shot.
That's actually not that's another crossover.
They're both in New York.
Mm-hmm. Well, in that case, Gargoyle should team up with literally every Marvel superhero.
Yeah, but going with the four makes the most sense.
Yeah, I guess. So that's cool. I like that. That's interesting.
Yep.
I agree.
Yeah, but so then let's talk about let's transition to we got the writer for the Wonder Woman movie. It's not Tom King, at least for right now. Thank Christ. We really dodged a shotgun blast with that one. But it's the woman writing Teen Titans and Supergirl. Now, whether or not this will be a good thing, we'll know in a year when Supergirl comes out. Because if Supergirl comes out and it's great, I think we're in a good thing.
One other thing, we're getting more Punisher.
Oh yes, we are.
The Marvel Knights Punisher.
Oh,
So Frank, they're really doubling down on Frank.
I know, right? It's almost like this is the closest we can get to Marvel going. Yeah, we screwed up. We really screwed up with this. We shouldn't have done this.
Oh, and yet it's confirmed the Punisher Red Band is only a limited series.
I figured. But still.
I forgot. Frank was shelved for like 3 years.
2 years. 2 years.
Around that. Cameron says, I never would have thought Marvel being in the decline, and I say that as someone who once thought the MCU was going to put shit forward. Here's the thing. It should have if Marvel Comics was run by competent people.
Yeah.
Like, did you see they also hinted that Venom is gonna get a red variant cover where it's like Red Venom, not Carnage, but it's like the Venom suit, and he's carrying MJ. So people are like, okay, so if he's not MJ, and he's not
Paul,
the kid.
Oh, Dylan.
Oh no, people are starting to put together. How much would I bet Marvel would make Paul Venom?
And you know what? I still gotta say, even though it's clear Ewing is trying to write Paul to make it very clear how bad he is, the fact is, though, as obviously editorial still making me, you still can't have him be wrong. He still has to be completely right. We have to be sympathetic to him.
Just light him on fire, as far as I'm concerned.
They're not gonna do that because he's protected by editorial.
I know. The funny part is that they also established that Paul has ED.
Mm-hmm.
So he literally can't sleep with MJ.
And how would he be able to be going around to it for so long? Why would he so upset about why we haven't been intimate lately?
Yeah, exactly.
So by that logic, he hasn't been intimate at all.
I really see. This is why I hate Marvel. Like, it's at the point I like the characters. I hate the editorial because it's at this point where they are just like, screw you guys. And I go,
because again, they're still number one. No matter what, they are still number one selling and outbeating DC. No matter what.
I know someone needs to take them down their high horse, but that won't last.
But to be fair, though, we should be consider ourselves blessed, though. Because of that, DC doesn't get arrogant.
Yeah, DC can coast. By Cameron says, I get the general audience is more or recognizable with the 2003 roster, but I hope the OG gets a chance to know the TV show doesn't count, should never count. What are you talking about?
Wait, what are you talking about? If you're talking about, wait, does he mean the Robin, Speedy, all that stuff? Most people don't care. They care about the Wolfman Perez, which is the cartoon.
Yeah, it's the cartoon with like a couple of characters left
Removed.
out, but
Yeah.
I guarantee you they'll include, because when they said it's the lineup, or like they even said like Titans Rebirth lineup, it's roughly that.
Exactly, because I'm sorry, no one really cares about the and there's not that much story potential for the OG. There really isn't.
Yeah, and if they went with the OG like 2003 you mean the Jeff Johns one?
No. By OG, I mean Robin, Aqualad, Speedy.
Yeah, they're not going to do that.
They're not going to do just the sidekick. Again, a Cyborg, Raven, Beast Boy, or Changeling, and all that. That incarnation is the one that always had the highest story potential. That's the and that. But that's where we're gonna have Dick Grayson and not have him be Robin.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry, if you go with the OG, you kind of have to keep him Robin.
And yes, NJ, we definitely. This is the crazy part, Robert. And you and I were talking about this on UTC. She sucks as a Wonder Woman editor, but she is like fantastic. Assuming you know what I think it is, because King has basically bragged that she's a close friend of his. So I think he's leveraging their so she doesn't check his stories.
Perhaps.
Anyway,
I'm double checking what else she's been working on at DC.
Oh, he said I just got into Titans from the TV show. The TV show.
It's still the
Wolfman. It's the Wolfman Perez, but without like Donna or like other.
And where's Hawk and Dove added on? Hawk and Dove have never been full Titan member, at least long-term Titan members.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So it's like I get that like that I get that like a lot of it's interesting. I get that like some people would have like would be like, oh look, they're going full classic with that, but again, it's like Robert said, there's not people think of Titans or Teen Titans, they think of like the people from the Wolfman Perez and on. That's what they think of when they think of Perez, which includes Teen Titans, the animated show, the Jeff Johns run. They think of that era of Titans. They don't think of the OG sidekick era.
Exactly. They really don't.
Yeah, and it's like you gotta go off of that. Honestly, you gotta go off of that.
You do. You really. Okay. By the way, I'm looking through what Brittany has been working on. It's been a lot. She's been the main person on the Batman books since volume 3. Since King's part. He's the one. Okay, he's the one that was brought in on. She was the one that was brought in on Batman after King got the other editor fired.
The urge to play the clip intensifies, but I won't.
Right. Also was on doing Batman Signal, the Batman Signal stuff. Oh, editor on Batman Beyond the White Knight.
Okay. I found a clip I'll play.
He fills out his clothes like lentils fill out a sandwich bag.
There you go.
Oh, editor of Batman Dark Age.
Okay. No, that's the thing. She's getting literally every other book except the books with his name on it.
Yeah, I know. A lot of the Convergence books.
And remember, she's the one that told King not to use Lobo in Supergirl.
I know. Now, to be fair, I think that could have also, since that was an in-continuity book, and I do think Lobo was being used elsewhere.
I would have to look at that to verify that.
Oh, I'm doing that right now, actually, while I'm talking.
But
yep.
Go ahead.
I was going to say she was the editor on the Commandi Challenge, which was a dedication to Kirby.
Yeah, but it's like for my point, like even if Lobo was going to be used, it doesn't mean that like the event where Lobo was being used is happening at the same time as the Supergirl book.
The way editorial works, though, is if another creator calls dibs on a character, usually that means they're hands off.
I call dibs on Wonder Woman. Suck it, Tom King.
Yeah, okay, dude. You know what? That's not how it works.
I'm making a joke.
I know. But some people might take that seriously.
Do you? Yeah, exactly. But yeah, exactly. But anyway.
So yeah, August 2021. I'm sorry, I'm talking to myself. I'm just trying to double check.
Yeah, but it's like, so back to the Wonder Woman movie.
Right,
At the very least, we know it's not him, because that was my concern. What?
Crush and Lobo was out at the same time.
Okay, I can see that. Anyway, so for this, back to this. We're talking about this now. Again, it's not him, which there was a rumor going around that he would co-write it, but I don't think they're going to do it that. Plus, why would they hide it? Variety would have leaked it when they leaked that she was writing the Wonder Woman movie.
Exactly. Again, why? Because of any backlash? They don't care. Why would they care? Why they would keep it? They're still keeping him working.
If they cared about the backlash of Tom King being involved with Wonder Woman, they wouldn't have hired him.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's likely he's not involved in the writing of the movie.
Maybe some ideas from the writers' room thing, but that's it.
And then what you do is you take those ideas and throw them in the nearest trash can. Anyway, but it's good. And well, here's the thing. I could be jumping the shark, because if Supergirl royally sucks, then but I will say, here is the good thing, and we'll talk about a director in a second, NJ. The fact that they have given her so many projects kind of shows they're confident in her abilities.
Even though she's a new-time writer.
She's written TV shows, but in terms of like movies, I think that these would be her first time writing movies. That's
true. So yeah, I mean, I don't think they would have given it to someone who has never written anything.
Particularly like Wonder Woman. Yeah, they're not just going to give that. They're more discerning about the movies than they are about the comics.
Exactly.
Yeah. So again, now who would I want to direct it? By the way, NJ, who says it has to be a female director?
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't have
to. I'm against the whole, only a woman could handle Wonder Woman, because then you wouldn't get Greg Rucka, you wouldn't get George Perez. See, these people think about this stuff. And NJ, this is not directed at you. I want to be clear on this. This is directed at the people of Twitter that actually say this stuff. I'm sorry, that doesn't work, and that's sexist. Anyway, in terms of like a director, definitely not Joss Whedon. Not Patty. I think that she's done in terms of touching.
Yeah.
Do you know who I want?
Who?
Who's the dude that directed The Northman?
The Northman. Hold on. By the way, JJheat, you still here?
Yeah, what's up, JJheat? Do you have any thoughts on the Wonder Woman writer? He may be gone, but anyway.
Robert Eggers. That's the one.
Robert Eggers. He, because you could because if you saw like The Northman, which is basically a Viking thing, you could really like nail that.
He only did Nosferatu, The Lighthouse, and The Witch.
Yeah, I think he could really nail that, because he gets he has the fact that when he did Northman, he did like that like ancient warfare like idea, and you could kind of do that for Wonder Woman.
But here's the thing, though. Just because he's good at those type of movies doesn't mean he's guaranteed to be good at superheroes.
Yeah, but for right now, I'm just going off of like what I've seen him that's similar to that. So you could just say, just do that, but the character has superpowers.
But here's something I'm thinking about when it comes to this Wonder Woman movie. As far as what do I think she'll be taking from, I do think she's going to take a lot from the the Perez era.
Perez and Rucka, I think, are going to be the ones they take from the most.
With some elements of New 52, anything that's useful.
Yeah, like they're not going to make the Amazons evil or like Grapus. They're not doing that. Trust me, they are not doing that.
But the fact they're using a New 52 Amazon from Demon Knight says a lot.
Yeah, so likely what they'll do is they'll take and I really hope they actually have, these are the real sons of Themyscira, and it's not the Proud Boys thing. It's just like the male Amazons, because that's honestly, a great like story that you could tell about that they later destroyed because they wanted to show how hardcore Donna is. Yeah, anything that they wanted to get into mainstream. Well, here's the thing. Here's what they're pulling from. At least for Paradise Lost, because Paradise Lost is still happening. It's Paradise Lost, Paradise Found, and
Historia.
Yeah, so I would say it's mainly that, but I would say now that we know Wonder Woman's getting a movie, they could actually. I wouldn't be surprised if they retool Paradise Lost to not be before Diana like is born, but it's just like a show about the Amazons.
Yeah, it's random points in history, like an anthology series.
Which I'll say, the idea of the Amazons getting their own show, that is a gold idea right there. Because and Jay can tell you right there, the Amazons really deserve. I know the reasons logistically why they won't, but the potential of the Amazons having their own book, Robert, is like there. I mean, they kind of had that with Amazon Odyssey by Grivo, which was fan-frickin-tastic.
Agreed.
But yeah, and Cameron brings up a good point. I'm like, anything that makes it easier for mainstream audiences to like understand Diana, and then assuming what's happening with Superman right now, where people are going into comic book shops for graphic novels, assuming that happens, anything that makes it easier for people to like hop onto Wonder Woman. By the way, Robert Fox asked about that. I didn't watch it with the sound on. I'm gonna tell you this. My question when I was watching that trailer was, why does this exist?
Right.
I'm like, what? Apparently they're not like, it's not like an Elseworlds or anything like that. It's their own original story, and I'm like, I feel like they're gonna try and make an anti-colonialism like political message, because look who Batman is. So I'm like, pass. I'll watch it if it comes on Max.
So apparently Lobo's appearance in Supergirl might just be a cameo rather than a full-blown, main part.
Yeah, because he wasn't like designated as the antagonist in that movie. It's still the antagonist from the book.
Okay, so they just they incorporated Lobo just for a bit of a
It's probably the parts where Tom King had the bounty hunter. That's Lobo now.
Right. But you still then have more sense. Yeah. Then you say, but you still have the villain was
I forget who the villain's name is on that.
I don't remember.
That shows how memorable that story is.
No. It's been a while since I've read it.
Yeah. But in terms of like, and does Hermes have a Gaza speed equivalent? I don't think so. I think he's god of speed.
But by the way, it was Krem of the Yellow Hills.
Okay, yeah. NJ, it's just him, because remember, Hermes is the one that gave the speed powers to Diana when she was a baby and she was endowed by the god's blessing.
And here's something else, NJ. There can't be a female equivalent because that's not how the Greek gods worked. They didn't try to have to be a male female. It was either they were male or they were female.
And they're not going to change the gender of Hermes just so Diana can only be like contributed by females.
Yeah. And I that there might be some kids where they give one child to another, but it's usually one where it's like you can fudge it a little bit,
Yeah, but they always go back to, case in point, Diana being the goddess of war, and then Ares took that role back when he came back to life inevitably.
Exactly. I mean, okay, because here are how they go, all right? Zeus, king of gods, gods of the sky, thunder, lightning, and law. Hera, queen of the gods, goddess of marriage, women, and childbirth. Poseidon, god of the seas, earthquakes, storms, and horses. Demeter, god of agriculture, harvest, nature, fertility. Athena, goddess of wisdom, handicraft, and warfare. Apollo, god of music, poetry, light, healing, and prophecy. Artemis, goddess of the hunt, wilderness, wild animal, the moon, and archery. Ares, god of war, violence, and bloodshed. Hephaestus, god of fire, metalworking, craft, and blacksmiths. Aphrodite, goddess of love, beauty, pleasure, and procreation. Blah, blah. You get where I'm going with it. Now, fertility sometimes rotates between some of the other gods, but that's it.
Yeah, and by Cameron asks, given what we saw in Superman, do you think the Supergirl movie would take place mostly in space? Well, if it's based on what Woman of Tomorrow, yes.
Yes.
Because that book is, as far as I know, that book is only in space.
Right, exactly.
So it's like, now I imagine the beginning of the movie or before she goes on the journey will take place on Earth. Like I imagine they'll do a scene on Earth to like so they don't immediately start you at the bar, essentially.
Wait. Iris, there's Isis, but not Iris.
Yeah, we don't mean the terrorist group.
And Isis is a Egyptian god, not Greek god. There is no Greek god named Iris.
Goddess of the rainbow and a messenger of the gods.
Okay,
She's she's the personal one for Hera. She's not the messenger of the gods. That's Hermes.
Yeah, so basically it'd be like her secretary.
And it doesn't say that she is the god of speed.
No. Again, she's more like the secretary for the higher gods.
Yeah, essentially. And here's the thing: when they do this, when they like adapt, when DC does the gods, they keep them mythologically accurate for the most part in terms of like how they look and their gender and stuff. They're not going to change that or like swap out Hermes for Iris because no one knows that Iris exists.
And even if they do, they will still be like, okay, come on. Again, there are some gods where they toss around, like fertility goes back and forth between some of the gods, but that's more like if it's actually in the mythology, like some of them have been swapped, then you can pick and choose.
And I'm going to tell you this again. You can't have it where no men contribute anything positive to Diana.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, here's what I said. Fertility. You have Demeter, Aphrodite, Dionysus, and Pan. So you could pick from any of those four for fertility, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if there's actually any for speed directly. Hermes. Just Hermes.
Mm-hmm.
They even say, while figures like Nike and Anomoi are associated with swiftness, Hermes is the most prominent figure tied to the concept of speed.
Yeah, exactly. That's why. By the way, Cameron asked, so when do you think there'll be like a plot leak or something like that for Wonder Woman movie? Next year. Because remember, they just announced that she is writing the movie.
And yet we haven't heard anything of Teen Titans yet. And that's been finished, or at least the first draft was turned in February.
Yeah, so it's like until they like get like a relatively finalized draft. Well, I would imagine start looking for it if you want to see it around the times that they say that like the movie's been greenlit. Because if a movie's greenlit, at least according to Gunn, it means that the script is good to go.
Oh, and by the way, like even Iris would fall under being swift-footed or wind-swift. So that means as fast as the wind.
Yeah,
that's not exactly. That's not a speed concept.
Yeah. But in terms of like, in terms of the Wonder Woman writer, it's more of a wait and see, but it's already a plus that it's not Tom King, which
right.
I know I shouldn't have gone like, oh, it could be Tom King. I was just concerned because,
NJ, let me put it this way. I am pretty confident they will be doing it because one, given the world they're setting, we're not going to have stuff like all the gods are dead or none of that. We're not going to.
They're going to have the gods like exist. I wouldn't be surprised if what they do is that the gods were the meta-humans pre-300 years.
For some, yes, not all.
For some, yes, but it's like let me put it this way. I hope that they will. The potential is there because short of the Kryptonian heritage, they showed Superman's lore a pretty generous amount of respect.
Yep, and that mural alone showed so much.
And it showed an obscure Amazon. So the fact that we're going off of that, I would say this is a time to be pretty optimistic until we hear otherwise.
Exactly. And now, again, the fact that Demon Knights is out there, I wouldn't be surprised if someone's willing to pitch a Demon Knight.
Oh, if they do a Demon Knights, like at least a Disney Plus show. Oh, God.
You mean HBO Max?
Oh yeah,
Why would they put it on Disney Plus?
That's a Marvel DC crossover right there, man.
Yep, but as anyone has mentioned about the JSA, like I know JJheat did and all that stuff. Wildcats at JSA, same with Liberty Bell. So
yeah, they'll do something with the JSA. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if what they do that becomes like you know how we were getting a Sergeant Rock movie. They redo that into a JSA movie.
I just realized though, if the Tara is that far back. Ugh.
Oh yeah, for his daughter. Yeah.
No. Granted, magic could keep him alive long. He could jump forward in time with magic.
Yeah, and he's dabbled in immortality occasionally, so it's not like it's like totally out of the realm of possibility.
Exactly. Oh, by the way, did you hear about the Muppet Marvel covers?
Yeah, those are funny. Hope Steve remains a friend. I honestly feel like, Robert, because they did the Steve romance so heavily last time, I really think like they'll do like the Perez relationship.
There's a good possibility, and hopefully
it's not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed, but I'm just saying they seem to be going very different from the EU. What?
I'll say this: if it's handled, I'm not saying exactly. I'm just saying with the same level of good handling as Superman and Lois.
No,
dude.
No, I'm kidding. But,
you know what I mean. You know what I mean, dude. If it's handled as well as Superman and Lois was, it could help turn things around and at least have it be. See, you could do it this way instead of having it be her world revolved around him.
I would love it. I want that to happen just so people can go, see, Tom King just sucks at even writing Steve Trevor.
Yep.
That would be the greatest FU to Tom King.
Here's something else. When it comes to Batman, whenever we get to that, you think they'll do anything with Selena and Catwoman?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
I think either that or they may start off with some stuff with Talia.
Dude, what about...
We'll see down the line. Let me put it to you that way. We'll see down the line because just because Superman's with Lois in the movie doesn't mean that'll stay that way.
It's ensured they're not going to break up in the very next movie because you don't do it within the second one.
And they're not going to do it off screen because that would be.
Oh, no.
I would even be pissed off at that.
They might have him be in a rough spot off screen again, but that's it.
Yeah, and then they'll do like I could see them breaking up in like the third movie, let's say, but it's not. The point is, just because they're together now doesn't mean they're together.
I mean, the fact that the actors are already toying with let's have a three-way.
That's not what he said, but
I'm joking.
I'm joking.
I was joking.
He said a love triangle.
A love triangle, dude. I was going.
I don't want my channel getting demonetized, Robert.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
But that's my point there. But and the very fact that the actors have expressed interest in doing that's fun. And I
just think it all matters on who they get for Wonder Woman. If it's someone they're not going to have that connection with, then who knows what it'll do. Of
course. By the way, did you hear that as soon as David Cornsweet said that, the Clovis fans turned on him?
Oh, God. Guys, seriously,
they accused him of being a misogynist.
And what about Rachel?
I don't think she even commented on it.
She was definitely interested.
Yeah, so I'm like, guys, it's because these are the people that think Super Wonder in general is misogynist, even though it's not when handled by anyone other than Chris Claremont.
I know. I agree completely. I mean, this sounds just as annoying as any of the other people who feel like Lois is nothing but an insignificant ant.
She is, but beyond that point, sorry.
You know the type of people I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, so I think that in terms of the Wonder Woman movie, let's see like this goes, because as far as I can see now, in a good spot. The very fact that, as far as we know, it's not TK, that in and of itself is a reason to celebrate. So let's be clear on that.
By the way, I'm looking on a slightly different note. I'm looking forward to that Teen Titans annual.
Oh, that's gonna be really fun. She even teased.
Oh yeah,
yeah, that too. Throwing her away.
If she's willing to make fun of, but of course, you could since she's playing Lois, you know that's obviously making fun of. Like, I'd want to be tossed by her.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, like I said,
Into a brick wall. I'm only kidding. Or a den of alligators.
Enemies.
Again, we have to see. We have to see because yes, she needs it, but it's very complicated the way that all this works, guys.
Yep, we've said this before, and Rebels new, so yeah, I get it. Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
But like I said, I cannot wait for this Teen Titans annual. It's Jimenez returning to Donna. Donna's one of the characters he is best at handling.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the
return of Donna Troy.
Yeah, but some people don't like that. I forget exactly why, but I'll bring that up. Well, I'll find out.
Okay, all I was say was, well, to be fair, he was like he had to be the one to fix that mess and still fit her in with like her history, and yet still tweak what Burton had done.
That is true.
So really, he was given a mess to work with. He just had to make do with what he did without just saying none of that happened.
Yeah, that is true. I'll give you that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So in terms of like, so those are the main topics that we had like on there. But if you guys have any questions that you guys would like us to answer, just go ahead and drop them in the comments.
Right.
But yeah. So Robert, so today I watched Gundam for the first time on Netflix. Pretty cool. I like it.
The only Gundam series I paid attention to was Gundam Wing.
Watch Requiem for Vengeance. It's like those high quality like Resident Evil animated movie style like 3D animation, but of Gundam characters. It's really cool.
Right.
But it's because Netflix has that. And actually, let me pull up what I was watching because I've been on an anime kick, so that's just me. Marston's better give the okay to it. Well, if it's a good animated series that respects the character, yes, they will, but it has to be a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I watched Gundam Seed today, but anyway, I just wanted to bring that up. But yeah, so what other cues do you guys have for us to answer? In terms of like, it could be anything with like Wonder Woman if you guys want, DCU, whatever. Just name it and we shall answer it.
By the way, I'm looking through the preview pages for it. I love it. They actually poke fun at all the messy inconsistencies of Titans by having some guys saying, I read this on the website, Donna. They're like, this site's very inaccurate. I can point you to some proper ones. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, that's
so they actually use that to poke fun at things. Like they say, see, according to this, Beast Boy was a Titan before the Doom Patrol.
That's actually really cool. I like it.
Which is a poking fun at the bird Doom Patrol.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. I like that. That works.
But yeah, any other questions, guys?
Yeah, any questions that you guys would like us to answer in terms of like Wonder Woman, DCU, in terms of like Superman, whatever you guys would like us to talk about. But yeah, so what we're gonna do for under 2K, I've seen the new McFarlane Wonder Woman figure. Too bad it's 2-pack. You mean the one that comes with Steve? Yeah, that's interesting there. I mean, of course, McFarlane's gonna make that an animated series written by Rush. Don't.
No, first of all, dude. A whole series written by nothing but comic writers, never going to happen.
Yeah, and that's not really a good, because just because they write well in comics does not mean they'll write well in animated.
Simone's done some good shows, like the Birds of Prey episode, Batman Brave and the Bold, that gave us that catchy song.
But also, Simone is not a good judge on Wonder Woman.
True, and Rucka has never written shows, as far as I know, and neither has Kelly.
Yeah.
And there is an art form to writing shows.
Now, if you want to say they'll be like writing advisors, like here's the way you have to represent people in the Amazons. Yeah, that works. I'm fine with that.
I mean, of those three, Gail's the one most likely because she at least had some experience.
I know.
I'm just saying between them.
Yeah, I know.
But But yeah, I mean, I get it, NJ. That's an interesting idea. That's that is a fan thing to think about. Hate to shoot you down, but reality.
Yeah, because that's not. Trust me, that could go sideways in 80 different ways.
Yep. Oh, by the way, even the annual keeps the Donna being found in the fire.
Jimenez writes Hippolyta as a jerk towards Donna. Sadly, that's why some don't like it.
Well, to be fair, at least in this annual, this is in the past, and she's being a bit of a stern mother, especially when you see how Donna's acting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I kind of see that. Plus, the fan base kind of turned against him when he made an Anne Frank joke during quarantine.
But you know what I'm saying though, it's like she's a jerk. But for one brief thing, but if you also know how Donna's acting, it's again, Hippolyta's just being the stern mother.
No, I understand that, but it's like it maybe isn't communicated that well.
Right. Although they do have to say this. Mother, she's so strict. Diana, oh, I know. I grew up with her too, remember? But you're different. Mother wanted you so badly, she carved you from Gaia herself and begged our goddesses to give you life. She'd forgive you for anything. I'm not even a real Amazon. I'm just a mortal who showed up here one day. I'm a nobody.
Mm-hmm.
So is Hippolyta being a bit judgmental because she's not actually her daughter, just adopted? Yes, but I could see why that is. There is always that bit of a difference.
But by the way, right now, all the Wonder Woman accounts from that mural are saying, read Demon Knights.
Yep.
Everyone's saying, read it, read it. Oh, okay, of course. It's probably signed as well.
No.
Okay. So,
not that I can think of. Do I?
Because I have an issue of Demon Knights in this. Hang on.
Nope.
Because I have an issue.
I got all 24 issues.
It's only 24 issues?
Well, 23 and a 0.
Okay. Yeah, because I think I have a Demon Knights issue in this right now.
Yep. It was for the first 15. It was Paul. In first 15 and the 0, it was Paul Cornell, and then they did a time skip a little bit ahead, and then that's when Vendetti took over.
All right. There you go. It's this.
Yep.
All right. That makes sense. That's cool. I'll check that out. I definitely need that.
Yep. But I also like how you have Xanadu is definitely in love with Jason Blood, but she's also puts on an act of saying like, "Oh, I really love the demon," when she really doesn't.
Where she's inhaling the smoke. That's so weird.
From the cat. Well, it's more from the cats, and then she's like, "Go get him," but it's like, yeah, no, she loves Jason. She just makes the demon sink. But I also love when he transforms, just one pint. That's all I ask. She just wanted a simple drink.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of cool.
Yep. And by the way, one thing I did like that New 52 did for Xanadu was give her eyes back after losing them from Infinite Crisis. I'm sorry. Having a person be perpetually having a band around their eye, a thing around their eyes, doesn't endear me to the character. I
didn't even know they did that.
Oh yeah, she was blinded by the Spectre during Infinite Crisis, and she stayed that way for the rest of the time. The post crisis.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yep. By the way, did you know there was actually a cross-through, not crossover, but cross-through between Demon Knights and Amethyst and a few others where you had the Eclipso Diamond?
Okay, I see. That makes sense.
So like you see him find it during Demon Knights. It ended up then in Gem World.
Okay, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah, like I said, that was a cross-through.
Okay,
but,
that makes sense. I like that.
But yeah, Demon Knights was a very interesting book overall. Just really fun. You had also Shining Knight. Here's something I gotta ask. Do you think they will keep Shining Knight being a both genders?
You mean being a guy? There was a male one and a female one?
No. I mean, in a body that's both genders.
I think they'll significantly simplify it. I don't think they're going to go in that direction.
All right. Because Shining Knight, at least based off of the one that Morrison had done, was that way, where they wanted to use the Grail to decide their gender.
Of course, it was Morrison.
Well, Morrison's the one who did that initially, but then the fact they kept doing it.
Remember, this is the individual that gave orgasm guns to the Amazons. I still can't believe that was ever like greenlit from DC.
I know.
Like, really, guys? You don't check it like that? Really? Hippolyta would love Donna as much as she loves Diana. Never got Jimenez to take it. Just pissed me off. Not gonna lie. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, but like I said, I kind of understand it because it's a case of that, like I said, there's going to be a bit of a different judgment. There always will be. Similar even with adopted parents.
Okay.
I'm not excusing it. I'm just simply saying I think that's what Jimenez was going for. The fact that with adopted parents, sometimes one does prefer their natural kid over the other.
In terms of from a story perspective, it makes sense.
Yes, from a story perspective, it makes sense, and it makes Hippolyta more human. She's not perfect. She never has been.
I'll give you that. That's interesting. I'll go off of that.
Because I would rather have a Hippolyta that makes mistakes rather than one that never makes mistakes.
Mm-hmm. Not gonna lie, I want the guns in the DCU just for the reactions. Oh, you mean like like Batman to have guns in the Batmobile like he always does? Yes, I do want that too. And you know why I want that? I want to see all the DCU shills that crapped on Ben Affleck's Batman to then justify this.
Right. Oh, by the way, I take it back. So it turns out Justina is cross-dressing, but wants to be the full gender. That's at least what Demon Knights did.
Of course.
But in modern, they said in the past. By modern times, abandoned it entirely.
Yeah, I don't think they would do that in
right
for this. Like, absolutely not.
Enzo asked about the new Red Hood series.
Do you guys think?
Yep.
Yeah, I was interested until you look at first off, the writer had tweeted that the U.S. deserved 9/11 or
right.
9/11 was justifiable, and then she says, "Oh yeah, I never liked Red Hood."
Then why are you on the book?
It's probably because the person just wants to use it as a stepping stone to write a character that they want to write.
Yep, and NJ kind of gets my point. It was in the past. It did improve over time, definitely.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just like it's. Mm-hmm.
Okay. By the way, so I take it back. So it was a case where Justin wanted to be a knight, but because girls couldn't be knights, had to pose as a boy. If they keep it
so
to
like
that,
Mulan.
Yeah, So if they keep it to that, that will be fine.
Yeah. If they do that, that's different. I don't think people would have problems with that.
Yeah, so long as they go with the cross-dressing and nothing else, then yes.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. I could see them doing that definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, so basically, yeah, Mulan. That's what he just said. Oh, but Cameron was saying he's talking about the orgasm gun, not bat gun.
Oh, the orgasm gun.
I could see them make a joke of that. I could see them making a joke out of it.
Yeah, that could be a joke, and then he could go, that just sounds like a stupid idea or something like that.
Oh, and NJ, pretty cool.
Is that your sister? Yeah, I say she's enjoying. Oh, this way. She's cool enough to be included in the DCU. That's got to say something.
Yeah, because they actually looked at, now granted, probably flipped through and Demon Knights and be like, oh, an Amazon. Okay.
Well, again, it's like Gunn, read a lot of new 52. I mean, the Superman suit alone is based on the new 52 design. Some would say poorly. I agree on that. But it's like the point is it has the basis of that version.
Very true. So yeah, using her in this, I am still impressed by that.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, you keep doing stuff that makes me think Okay, you know what? At the very least, you're doing something very interesting with the character in that sense. I like that.
Yep. Oh, by the way, the cover for One World Under Doom has that whole army of of other people. Almost every Marvel character has become Sorcerer Supreme.
Oh, they're doing that gimmick idea thing again.
Yep. Where you see Storm, you see Captain Marvel, you see Nico from Runaways.
Wasn't Captain Marvel actually Sorcerer Supreme at one point?
No, she was, because she has no magic.
Hang on.
Hold on.
It comes up when I Google it.
Okay. Well, dude, to be fair,
Yep, they did it.
In my defense, I don't know as much Marvel.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Wow, Doctor Strange is the current the MC. Now, okay, in the comics.
Yeah, of course.
Could have given me the MCU. Oh, no, it says Captain Marvel has never been Sorcerer Supreme in Marvel Comics. So where are you seeing that?
Let me see. I'm looking at that. Oh, it could be she trained with Stephen Strange. I think that was the one where they basically had them sleep together by accident or something like that.
Yeah, because I'm looking through the list of all the different Sorcerer Supremes. No, you see, Clea Magic has been Sorcerer and Sorcerer Supreme in a different world.
That makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. More Amazons in the DCU is better. Yeah, exactly. Well, just because she's on the mural does not mean she'll show up in a project, though. NJ, she may show up in Paradise Lost. To be clear,
At least seeing her exile, at least.
Yeah, at the very least. But I think that's a good place to leave it. So this was a fun stream. And then so for tomorrow for movie night, we're going to be talking about Jurassic Park Rebirth or
Jurassic World. Yeah, I was going to say Jurassic World.
One. And then Britt and I are going to be comparing Superman and Wonder Woman to Reed and Sue, obviously because the movie came out. And we'll be reviewing the movie on the show as well. And then for Sunday, I'm going to be talking about Wonder Woman Dead Earth and like other Elseworlds Wonder Woman stories, including Absolute. And then for Wonder Woman Wednesday, I'm going to be doing a collab with Britt where we talk about our favorite Wonder Woman artists. Robert, how about you?
You got my link down. I got my link down below. I've been working on a bunch of Pro Teachers Noobs. In fact, I've got all of the ones with me and Pika going over the Justin Madge and Stan Lee creating books.
Oh, yeah. I love that.
Yep. I will be getting back to game streaming. I've just been a bit busy and everything. I decided to wait until I got back home. Plus, I got a bunch of movie reviews I'll be posting up with my friend Alex and I.
Heck yeah, that's dope. I love that. So, and do you think she'll interact with Diana? Maybe at some point. But anyway, so that's about all we got. We are the Comics League. Stay heroic, everyone. Remember, Lois Lane is Lois Lame. She belongs to General Zod. Zoe and Max about for life. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.